Emma sat by the window, staring at the rain that tapped gently against the glass. The world outside looked peaceful, but her world inside was nothing like that. Her heart was heavy, her mind restless. She used to love rain, now, it only reminded her of the storm she lived in every day. Her husband, Daniel, was in the living room, scrolling through his phone. His eyes were sharp, suspicious, as if the world and even Emma herself was plotting against him. He had not always been like this. When they first met at university, he was charming, ambitious, and seemed to love her more than anything. Emma had believed she was the luckiest woman alive. But years had passed, and love had slowly turned into control, care into criticism, and affection into accusations. Emma, Daniel's voice cut through the silence. Yes, she asked, carefully, almost afraid of what might come next. Where were you this morning? You were late coming back from the grocery store, he asked, his tone sharp. Emma swallowed. She had spent 10 extra minutes talking to their neighbor, Mrs. Jones, who had simply asked about her health. But she knew if she said that, Daniel would accuse her of wasting time or, worse, of lying. There was a long line at the store, she said softly. Daniel narrowed his eyes. Are you sure, or were you somewhere else? Emma looked down, her fingers nervously playing with the hem of her dress. She hated these moments, the endless suspicion, the questions that felt more like accusations than conversations. I was at the store, Daniel, she replied quietly. He shook his head, muttering, You think I don't notice things? You think you can fool me? Her chest tightened. It wasn't the first time he doubted her loyalty. Every time she stepped out of the house, even for simple errands, Daniel found a way to make her feel guilty. He checked her phone, questioned her friends, and even criticized the way she dressed. Emma had given up so much for him: her career, her social circle, even parts of her personality. Once, she had been lively, full of dreams. Now, she barely recognized herself in the mirror. Later that evening, as they sat at the dinner table, Daniel complained again. This food is too salty. You don't even care about my taste anymore, he snapped, pushing his plate away. Emma's eyes stung with tears, but she bit her lip, refusing to cry. She had learned that her tears only made him angrier. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful next time, she whispered. Next time there shouldn't be a next time. Why do I have to repeat myself every single day? His voice rose, filling the room with tension. Emma lowered her gaze, feeling smaller and smaller. She wondered when she had lost her voice, when she had become afraid to speak her mind. She wanted to scream, to tell him how unfair he was, but fear held her back. That night, lying in bed beside him, she stared at the ceiling. Sleep wouldn't come. She thought of her parents, who lived miles away. She thought of her best friend, Lily, whom she hadn't spoken to in months because Daniel disapproved. She thought of the life she once dreamed of, a life full of love, laughter, and freedom. Instead, she was stuck in a cycle of control, mistrust, and emotional abuse. The next morning, the cycle continued. Daniel criticized her dress. Why are you wearing this? Are you trying to impress someone? Change it. Emma obeyed silently, though her heart broke a little more each time she gave in. A few days later, she finally decided to visit her parents. She hadn't seen them in months. Daniel agreed reluctantly but made it clear he wasn't happy about it. When Emma arrived, her mother immediately noticed the sadness in her eyes. "Emma, darling, are you okay?" she asked, gently touching her daughter's hand. Emma forced a smile. "I'm fine, Mom. Just tired." But her mother wasn't convinced. "You don't look fine. You've lost weight. Your eyes, they're not the same." Emma's father joined them. "Emma, you know you can tell us anything, right? Whatever it is, we're here for you." For a moment, Emma wanted to pour her heart out, to tell them everything: the shouting, the suspicion, the endless control. But fear stopped her. What if they confronted Daniel? What if it made things worse? "I'm okay," she repeated, her voice breaking. When she returned home, Daniel was waiting, his arms crossed. "Why were you late? What were you doing? Who were you with?" he demanded. Emma's throat tightened. "I was just with my parents. That's all." Daniel's eyes flashed with anger. "Don't lie to me. You think I don't know? You were probably gossiping about me, making me look like a bad husband." Emma's heart sank. "Daniel, please." But he cut her off. "You're ungrateful, Emma. I give you everything, and this is how you repay me, by making me look like a fool." She felt a lump in her throat, the words she had swallowed for years pressing hard against her chest. She wanted to scream, "Stop it!" But instead, she remained silent, her silence louder than any words. That night, Emma cried silently into her pillow, careful not to wake Daniel. She realized she was no longer living, she was merely surviving. The days blurred together for Emma. Every sunrise felt heavy, and every night was filled with silent tears. She had once believed marriage was a partnership, a safe place where love grew with time. Instead, her marriage had become a cage, and Daniel held the key. One evening, as Emma prepared dinner, Daniel entered the kitchen. His face was stern, his brows furrowed. "Where's my shirt, the blue one? I told you to have it ironed," he snapped. Emma looked up from the stove, her hands trembling slightly. "It's in the closet, Daniel. I ironed it yesterday." He marched to the bedroom and returned moments later, holding the shirt. Look at this crease. You call this ironing? Can't you do anything right?" Her throat tightened. She wanted to defend herself, to say she tried her best, but his anger always crushed her words before they could escape. "Daniel, it's just a small crease," she whispered. His eyes darkened. "Just a small crease? You don't care about me. You don't respect me." Emma felt her heart sink. Respect. He always demanded it, yet he never gave it. That night, she lay awake again. Memories flooded her mind: his constant accusations, the way he isolated her from her friends, the way he silenced her laughter. She remembered when she used to sing while cooking, when she used to paint, when she used to dream. Now, silence was her only song. The next morning, Daniel accused her of hiding something on her phone. "Why do you keep your phone locked? Who are you talking to?" he demanded. Emma clutched the phone to her chest. "It's just for privacy. I'm not hiding anything." He snatched it from her hands, scrolling through her messages. His face twisted with suspicion. "You've been talking to Lily again, haven't you? I told you I don't like her influence." Emma's eyes welled up. "She's my friend. I miss her." Daniel slammed the phone on the table. "No more. You will not talk to her again. Do you understand?" Something inside Emma cracked. Her voice shook, but it carried a strength she hadn't felt in years. "Daniel, you can't control every part of my life." His head snapped up. "What did you just say?" "I said you can't control me," she repeated, her voice firmer this time. For a moment, silence filled the room. Daniel stared at her as if she were a stranger. His jaw tightened. "You're getting bold now. Don't forget who takes care of you." Emma turned away, tears slipping down her cheeks. But inside, a spark had ignited, a spark of defiance, of strength. The breaking point came a week later. Emma had gone to the market to buy groceries. On her way back, she met an old classmate who greeted her warmly. They talked for only a few minutes, catching up about life. But when she returned home, Daniel was waiting at the door, his face stormy. "Where were you? Why are you late?" he demanded. Emma's heart raced. "I met someone from college. We just talked for a few minutes." Daniel's face twisted with fury. "You think I'll believe that you were flirting with him, weren't you?" "No, Daniel. It was nothing like that," she pleaded. He slammed his fist on the table, the sound echoing through the room. "You're a liar, Emma. Always lying." Her body trembled, but this time, something was different. She was not just afraid, she was angry. Angry at the years she had lost, the joy stolen from her, the person she had become under his shadow. Emma stood tall, her eyes meeting his with newfound strength. "Stop it, Daniel," she said firmly. He froze, shocked at her tone. "What did you say?" Her voice grew louder, stronger. "I said stop it. Stop doubting me, stop insulting me, stop controlling me. I've had enough." Daniel's mouth opened, but no words came out. For once, he didn't know how to respond. Emma's chest heaved as she poured out years of silence. "I gave up everything for you, my friends, my dreams, even parts of myself. And what did you give me in return? Doubt. Insults. Pain. I am tired, Daniel. Tired of being treated like I'm not good enough." Tears streamed down her face, but her voice didn't waver. "You think love is control, but it's not. Love is trust, respect, kindness. And you've given me none of that. So today, I'm saying it. Stop it. It's over." The words hung in the air like thunder. Daniel's face turned pale. "You can't just leave. You're my wife." Emma shook her head. "A wife is not a prisoner. I deserve peace. I deserve happiness. I deserve to be me again." She turned, walked to the bedroom, and packed a small bag. Her hands shook, but her heart felt lighter with every item she folded. Daniel followed her, still in disbelief. "You'll regret this, Emma. You'll come back." She zipped her bag and looked him in the eye one last time. "No, Daniel. I want tea. I'd rather be alone than live without respect." With that, she walked out the door. Emma stood outside, the cool evening breeze brushing against her face. For the first time in years, she felt the air filling her lungs freely. She walked down the street, each step heavy yet liberating. Her tears flowed, but they were no longer of despair, they were of release, of courage. She arrived at her parents' house, her mother rushing to embrace her. "Emma, what happened?" her mother asked, worried. Emma buried her face in her mother's shoulder. "I left, Mom. I couldn't take it anymore. I told him, it's over." Her father placed a comforting hand on her back. "You did the right thing. You don't deserve to suffer." For the first time, Emma allowed herself to believe those words. Days turned into weeks, and Emma slowly began to rebuild herself. She reconnected with Lily, started painting again, and even applied for a job she once dreamed of. Every day was a step toward healing, toward reclaiming her identity. Sometimes, she still thought of Daniel. But instead of pain, she felt strength. Because she had found her voice, and she had used it. One evening, as she painted by the window, she whispered to herself, "Stop it, it's over." And this time, the words were not filled with sorrow, they were filled with victory. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.